Hallöchen lovelies, the name's Amos and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see by the video title, this is me doing the Toon Me challenge. What is the Toon Me challenge, some of you may ask yourselves? The Toon Me challenge is an art challenge that's been going around art Instagram and art Twitter, where people take a picture that they have of themselves and then they cartoonify part of it. So yeah, you can watch me doing this during this video. This video has been long overdue because it's been a minute since I last uploaded anything on this channel or really showed any sign of life whatsoever. And yeah, a lot has been going on over the last year and a half. There are several reasons I kind of abandoned this channel and kind of let it rest for a while. And one of them was that I just was very uninspired for a minute there. I was super depressed and doing art came like very hard to me. I was also working on a portfolio at the same time, which obviously wasn't the best combination if you consider how fucking sad I was. And yeah, during my work on that portfolio, I was mainly doing traditional art and I didn't really have the setup in order to film any of that, neither did I have the motivation, to be honest. And yeah, I also had a relationship that ended during last summer, and I put a lot of myself into that relationship, which kind of resulted in me not really doing anything that I would consider one of my hobbies, like doing art or much else, to be honest. And yeah, all of those circumstances just led me to basically let this channel rest and not really do anything with it, and they led to just me not really doing a lot of art and stuff like that in general. Yeah, but why come back now? Well, as some of you may have noticed, the channel changed twice throughout my absence. I changed the username twice and I changed the layout completely. And that has a reason. I decided to finally revive this channel, but a little bit differently than before. So those of you who have been subscribed to me for like a minute now know that this channel started out as an art channel. And by that I mean as exclusively an art channel. I used this channel to post my fan art, specifically the Steven Universe fusions I used to do back then. And I had a lot of fun with that, and it made a lot of sense to do it this way back then, but it doesn't really anymore. I found myself wanting to upload non-art and do non-art content, but I felt like I couldn't do it because I labeled this an art channel in my mind and I made this an art channel. But sometime throughout the past like half year or so, I was like, you know what, this is my channel, I can do whatever the fuck I want with it, so why not upload something that's not art and just upload whatever I want to upload on here. So this is what I plan on doing from now on, because I'd like to share my interests with you and my other hobbies, and yeah. So what can you guys expect in the future from me and this channel? Now, first of all, I want to upload traditional art because, as I said, I've been doing a lot more of that recently, mainly because it's much easier for me because my laptop setup for my drawing tablet is just a mess due to my laptop only having one USB outlet, and that makes doing digital art just really bothersome and a process, which is why I don't do it as often anymore. Yeah, another thing I'd like to upload is journaling and bullet journaling content because I actually quite like doing that and I've been doing it a lot and for a while. Some other content I want to dabble into is book and fanfiction content, so to speak. Like in a little bit of like a booktube format. I want to talk about the books that I read and the fanfiction that I read, and maybe give you guys recommendations for like the different fandoms I'm in and the different fandoms I read fanfic for, and maybe share some of my all-time favorites and stuff like that, and review longer fics and series or like shorter ones as well. And yeah, I just want to talk about all of that stuff because it's close to my heart and it's things that I love and love talking about and things that I love sharing. So that's what I want to do. On that same note, I also want to share more of my interests in general. Some of you guys may or may not know, but I'm a huge ARMY, so a BTS stan. And I also really like My Hero Academia, and I've been getting into NDCS, also known as The Untamed, which is a Chinese drama that has been blowing up on anime and K-pop Twitter specifically. And yeah, just all of my other interests, because I like talking about them and I like sharing them, and that's just a lot of fun to me. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Another thing I want to do is do more live streams in a do blank with me format. So basically write with me or draw with me or be productive with me or something like that, where I'm basically like doing art or writing or working on projects and stuff like that, and we can just motivate each other and chat with each other and pursue all of our hobbies together. I really would like to do that, but that is mostly dependent on my Wi-Fi connection, to be very honest with you. Yeah, so in that vein, if that sounds appealing to you, and if you would like to see that content, that's definitely coming because I'm very motivated to do it and I'm very excited about it as well. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and to join this community. And yeah, I'm just very psyched about reviving this channel and sharing the things that I love, because I love sharing the things that I love. It just makes me very happy and very yay! Yeah, so now a little bit more about the illustration that you guys have been watching this whole time. I had a lot of fun with it. It took me about 2 to 3 hours and I did it in one sitting, which of course was due to the fact that it was only half a face and that I literally traced over my features and didn't bother to like sketch it out or anything because I didn't want to fuck up the anatomy. If you guys have been following me for a while, you may notice that my art style has changed quite a bit and that the process has changed a bit. I want to talk about that a little more in another video where you can see it better, where I don't trace over a photo, because the way I sketch and just the way I do line art is different nowadays than it used to be. Not that different, but definitely has changed. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about my process a little bit more in another video. But for this illustration in particular, I want to talk a little bit more about some of the things I really liked about doing it and some of the things I kind of struggled with, so here we go. I had a lot of fun doing the hair in particular, because whenever I draw curly and kinky hair, I basically draw it as clouds, and I also have like a cloud brush that I do like the different colors with and the shading with, and you can't see it that well in this picture because my hair is pretty dark, so you can't really see the tonal difference a lot, but you can see it a lot better in the final picture, which you can check out on my Instagram, by the way. And yeah, I just really like doing curly and kinky hair because of that. I like just cloud hair. That's so much fun to do, in my opinion. Another thing I really liked doing in this illustration was the lips, because blending them worked really nicely, and then just adding the little highlights, ooh, that was really nice. It turned out really nice in my opinion. I really like that. Another thing I really had a lot of fun doing were the glasses, because I just love playing with transparency and layer modes, which is also why I had a lot of fun with the heart pattern that I did in the end, instead of the flower pattern that is originally on this blouse. And yeah, it just turned out really cute, and I really like the way the glasses look. I'm not a big fan of my glasses IRL, but I do like the way they look in this illustration. Another thing that I have a lot of fun doing are the sparkles that you can see in the end. Just like the sparkles on the jewelry and on the makeup and just on the highlighted areas of the face. It's just chef's kiss. Have a lot of fun doing this. Also, as an explanation as to why I drew my eye pink instead of dark brown, which is my natural eye color. The picture I took was from when I was going out a couple weeks ago, and I just felt like wearing pink contacts that I bought for a cosplay like a minute ago, and the contacts are like still fine and I clean them regularly, so I was just like, you know what? Why not go out with pink eyes for a change? Because let's look like a goddamn anime character. Let's be cute. And yeah, I was feeling very cute when I took that picture, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah. Some of the things I had more trouble with were, for example, figuring out the color match for my skin tone, because the original picture is like very yellow tinted due to the fact that most of the light in my room is just varying shades of warm white, which basically means yellow because they say it's warm white, but realistically it's just goddamn yellow. And yeah, due to that, my skin looks a lot more yellow than it would regularly, and finding a color match for that was kind of hard because my natural skin does have yellowish undertones, but they're not nearly as extreme, and they're also just not nearly as prominent. And I just prefer more washed out skin tones usually. I prefer giving brown skin tones more of a reddish or neutral undertone in my art usually. I just had to go out of my comfort zone for this, which is not a bad thing, but I just struggled a little bit. Another thing that was definitely a bit of a struggle was the shading, because I don't really like the blending brushes that I have in this program. They're not nearly as nice as the ones that I used to use, and I just haven't found ones that I'm very happy with yet. So yeah, I'm not completely happy with how that turned out either. It's not nearly as smooth as I would have liked it to be. Yeah, that also made the makeup blend a little hard, and by makeup I'm talking about the eyeshadow. Like, in itself it was fine and it wasn't really hard to do, but blending the eyeshadow into the skin color, now that was a little bit more of a struggle, and that took me a solid 5 to 10 minutes, and I didn't really like the way it turned out, so in the end I just used a Gaussian blur for all of it to blend it out, and it turned out fine. It's not my favorite, but it definitely turned out fine. Yeah, then in the end I just basically made the line which separates the cartoonified version and the regular version of myself a little bit thicker, and cleaned the things around it up a little bit, and I added a background, outlined myself in white with like a crayon-like brush, and then I added a shadow over the original picture just to separate the cartoonified version and the regular version a little bit more from each other. And yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it's really cute. I like it a lot, and I had a good time doing it. I just really enjoyed the whole process, and then just finishing it and sitting there and being like, yeah, I have a finished illustration now. This is nice. This looks nice. So that's it about the illustration, essentially. I don't really have an upload schedule for now. I think I'm gonna try to upload once every week on the weekend, because that just seems the most realistic to me. But I'm still figuring it out, what content exactly I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to shoot it. Whether you're gonna see me during the videos, or whether I'm gonna do like little animatic type things or like sprite type things. Not sure yet, we'll see. it's all still a work in progress, but I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to revive this channel, and yeah, if you liked this video, feel free to leave a like and to comment below if you have anything to say to me or anything to say about the illustration or the plans for the channel. And yeah, you can also contact me on Twitter if you want to, or just follow me if we have like the same interests. And if you want to see more of my art, you can check out my Instagram. All of my social media handles are also down in the description, so you don't have to like pause this video and write them down now and search them real quick. But yeah, that's basically it. I can't wait to see you guys again next week and the week after that, and hopefully also the week after that. And yeah, just to see you guys again and talk to you guys again. I hope you guys have an amazing day or night or whatever time it is for you right now, and be kind to yourselves.